Hey everyone, danthecardman back again with another weekly trading card news update video. So if you haven't seen one of these before, basically what I like to do is do a quick recap on some of the key things that have happened within the hobby over the past week and put them into one video, talk about them, and then release it on a Sunday. So this is filmed on Sunday Australian time. It'll be up Saturday in the US. And like I said, covers all the key things that I think you guys should be aware of from a trading card hobby perspective. Now, I did the first episode last week. This is going to be the second one. Like I said, it's going to be a weekly occurrence moving forward. Now, let's get started. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about is the HGA Horizontal slabs. Now, I did a video on this when they first announced and mentioned that I'd probably talk about it again when they finally start seeing some out in the wild. So now some have been graded. I've seen them again. I really liked them when I first saw their prototype ones. I really liked it when I saw what they were actually going to release. And now I really like what they're actually doing. These look fantastic. And like I said in my videos, if you haven't seen them, these are like a bloody game changer. These are so freaking cool. And they're so good that I think PSA, BGS, and SGC are going to start trying to do something like this in the future. And I think if they're not going to, they're missing a boat, to be honest, because these are a legitimate game changer. So there's one here of Hamzat Chimaev. UFC. He's potentially going to be a champion. This guy, he's unbelievably good. If you don't follow the UFC, this guy is so freaking good. He's such a dark horse. He's just smashing guys left, right, and center. He's so freaking good. Scary. And then there's one here of Allen Iverson. I'm not a huge fan of the label on this one, but again, I think the slab itself looks bloody fantastic. So just wanted to highlight this to you. I think they look really cool. And I think that, like I said, I think any horizontal slab that I get, any horizontal card that I now get, that's probably not six-figure card, not six-figure. I've never got a six-figure card, but like, you know what I mean? Like not a really expensive card. I'm going to send it in to HGA, even if it's not just for my PC, just because they look really cool. And I think when you're interacting with them as a collector, it's going to be a bit nicer from a tactile perspective. You can display them on your shelves a bit nicer. It just looks all around much better. I think when you take them to trade shows or trade nights, I think you're going to get more talking points from people, which means you've got a better chance of selling your card or making a trade or just meeting new people as friends. Really cool. All my PC horizontal slabs are going to these guys for sure. Like I said, anything that's probably not worth a lot of money, I'll basically send in as well, because I think like the HGA label is not going to hurt the value too much. Yeah, so basically they look bloody fantastic. Let me know what you think in the comments below, but these are bloody awesome and I can't wait to send my first one in. They've got a bit of a backlog at the moment, so I'll wait a little bit longer, but I definitely have some that are ready to go because it's bloody awesome. Now, quickly, the next point's going to be on this Logan Paul fake Pokemon case fiasco. Now, I've done 2 videos on this already, basically one doing a recap and then one talking about how Baseball Card Exchange also do the authentication for PSA booster packs, unopened booster packs. Now, if you're not aware of this situation, which I'd be a bit surprised, but basically Baseball Card Exchange authenticated this sealed case as being authentic when it was very clearly fake. It's just come out that it's fake, so it's bad news for Baseball Card Exchange. They've been doing this authentication on sports cards for over 20 years, so this is potentially incredibly damaging to their brand. And there's a actually really interesting thread on Blowout Card forums that talk about this in detail. There's some really cool points being made about the impacts to the market, what it might mean for them moving forward, so please check it out if you haven't. But basically, because Baseball Card Exchange now have this question mark over their ability to authenticate, it also flows through to PSA because PSA rely on them to authenticate their booster packs. So please check out my second video where I talk about that in detail. But that's something really important and probably something that I'll talk about a little bit more in next week's video because I imagine there's going to be more stuff that comes to light related to that. Now, I want to give a quick update on this because at the time of my video when I did the recap, Shine had already refunded Logan Paul his $3.5 million, if I recall. Shine bought this off Card Kahuna and Millie Pops. Shine has since received his refund from Millie Pops, but he hasn't received it from Card Kahuna, is my understanding. And I think Card Point have the most recent update where this is what Card Kahuna is saying why he doesn't want to. He doesn't think he's liable. He's refusing to do the refund. And like Card Point have called out, he's still posing on a private jet with a fake case. Now, there's some serious question marks over these guys, Millie Pops, Card Kahuna, in my understanding. Check out Rattle Pokemon, who goes into this into a lot of detail. But in all honesty, without naming names, I think the people who defrauded this whole thing, because it looks highly likely that someone's put this fake case together. Rattle Pokemon seems to have a lot of evidence. The police are definitely going to get involved. I think somebody's in a lot of trouble. So this is almost like a watch this space. I'm not sure who it is or which individuals are potentially liable for this, but check out Rattle Pokemon's video. He just did a most recent update again. I think like there's definitely more to come, and this is crazy news, right? That somebody could go to freaking jail for a fucking Pokemon case. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to swear, but it's just mind-boggling that someone do that. Like, it's just crazy what the hobby's turned into, right? Gone from this small card collecting community to now being so much money invested in it. There's just scammers left, right, and center. It's just crazy. Again, apologies for swearing. I try not to swear on these, but that's sort of where we're at, right? Like, it's just crazy. So watch this space because it's not over yet. Now, very quickly in the hobby as well, I was going to do a video on this, but then I chose not to just because I had a few too many videos come out. I didn't want to spam you guys, but basically backyard breaks. They're a group of bakers, pretty young kids. Not a huge fan of their videos, maybe it's because I'm a bit of a boomer. They're a bit brash for me, a bit crude. I don't enjoy that style of content, so I stay away from them, but each to their own, right? People seem to like it. Now, the reason why they've been brought up is basically they did a break, decided to give some packs to a person on a stream. They said, okay, found the person, let's give you, it's this guy named Gavin, you can see there. Now, decided to do that, opened the pack, they realized they got a Kaboom, and they were like, well, I don't think we can give this away. And they took the card out, it was a Trevor Lawrence gold Kaboom, incredibly, as you can see there, incredibly expensive card, probably like $30,000, $20,000, whatever you want to say, USD. They said, no, we can't give it away. So obviously people on the stream blew up like crazy, and then they said it's too valuable, so we'll give you something else, we're going to donate to charity. Went back and forth on the stream, obviously showed little to no integrity, basically. In the end, I think they even decided, okay, let's give it away to someone on the stream. They called the person up, apparently the person wasn't on the stream at all, and then the person on the call basically said, I haven't been on Twitch in 2 years, so it was like shit show to shit show to shit show. It was like dominoes falling. It was like, you could almost see like the wheels turning in their head, the panic setting in. So a lot of people have blown up. Basically what this update here from Card Porn is, they've decided, or they reached out to this guy named Gavin to try and get him some legal advice, which I thought was a bit strange to be honest. But basically trying to get him some legal advice to see whether he was actually entitled to the card. The person's declined, doesn't want the card. He did an interview with, as in Gavin, the guy that was meant to get the card, did an interview today or video today with Backyard Breaks where they talked about the whole situation. I found the whole thing incredibly cringe and awkward. I couldn't watch it. I think it's just a shit scenario all the way around. A lot of people have called these guys out and gone really hard with pitchforks at them. Rightfully so, to be honest. But the only thing I will say is they're pretty young kids, and one thing that's pretty evident with that generation is they do a lot of their interaction with people on social media, and from their perspective, I guess maybe like empathy doesn't seem to be like a really, really common trait with people from that generation. I don't want to put everyone together, but it's not uncommon, right? You see a lot of like cyberbullying and things like that where people just don't realize they're interacting with a person, right? So in their minds, they probably weren't rationalizing it as stealing a card they promised to someone, which in reality, it's what they were doing, right? I don't think they would have done it in person. And maybe I don't know enough about their content. Maybe they would have done that in person. If they would have, they're obviously shit blokes, but that's sort of where it's at. So I think in their mind, they just didn't rationalize it that way. And I'm not trying to forgive them or give them any credit or anything like that, because at the end of the day, it's a lesson learned and it's going to impact them. It's going to impact their business moving forward. People are not going to break with them, and that's life, right? Like, you got to learn. I would never do anything like this. I think 99% of people wouldn't, but that's how you learn in life, right? Your integrity is everything. Your word is everything. And they've probably shown that it probably isn't anything. And they're going to have to do a lot to try and win people back over. And that's part of the process, right? It's how you learn in life. They're young. Hopefully, as they grow a bit more mature, they'll move through it and learn to be a bit more empathetic and not do that to people, right? Because like, you do that in person, you're going to have some trouble, right? Now, the next point I wanted to quickly make is on some fake cards that have started showing up. Now, Wax Museum Podcast, I've talked about them a few times. Please check them out. This is their YouTube channel. Now, basically, there was this Luka card that showed up, I think it was at the start of the week. Now, they were confused because they were both the same number. I think it's number 53. So they're both number 53. And when this first showed up, you can obviously see the patch is different. So what they thought happened was that the card was damaged, perhaps. So it was a damaged card. Panini sent a replacement, which is why the patch looked different. Now, after a bit more research, and obviously the colors looked a bit off, there were some question marks raised. A bit more research, it turns out there's a Zion that has also popped up that had the same patch, but for a different number. And it looks like someone's basically faking these National Treasure cards. Now, what's concerning is what they've done is, what this scammer has done, has taken the copied patch, so in this case, number 53, and replicated it into a different number to try and sell, right? Which is why, so I think, sorry, if I go back to here, this one I think is like number 55. And then this one is also number 55, but what they did was they took it from number 53, I think is what happened, yeah. Is what happened here. And then what they've done with the Zion is they've taken the patch and auto from number 22 and put it into number 92. Now, what's really concerning, it's not just concerning this is happening in general, right? But what's concerning is that this 92 Zion sold for 30,000 USD, which is freaking crazy, right? So these guys basically have like a database where they're tracking what these cards look like to make sure that when scams are happening, people can track to make sure that it is the right card. And they've since taken this out of their database. So they're in the process of trying to reach out to the powers that be to try and get this person their money back, so on and so forth. I'm not sure what's happening beyond them, but this is just really scary that you're getting these new products that are being frauded like this, defrauded. That's just mental. And I think like it's very scary for the hobby, and I think more needs to be done. I'm not sure what Panini can do moving forward from a printing perspective to try and prevent this kind of thing. Maybe put hologram stickers on the fronts of cards that can't be copied. I don't know. Something needs to be done because this is bloody scary. So more news to come. Check out Wax Museum Podcast. Check them out, the YouTube video. It's really, really interesting. So please check it out. Give them a like, give them a subscribe, give them a follow, because people in the community need to be aware, because this is bloody scary. Now, the last point I wanted to make is not... Hey guys, so I'm not sure what happened there. The video stuffed up, but I just wanted to quickly highlight something a little bit different. It's not trading card related, but it might have some flow-on effect into trading cards moving forward. But basically the artist proof, or the original sketch for page 24 of Secret Wars number 8, just really recently sold for $3.3 million. Now, Secret Wars number 8 is a comic book from 1984. It is considered the first true appearance of Black Suit Spider-Man. This didn't turn up into Amazing Spider-Man, I think it was until 251, 252, a week or two later, and then also Web of Spider-Man. Now, the reason why I've brought this up is because it's obviously a lot of money, and I'm just curious whether we might see some flow-on effect into trading cards from this, right? Because I think at the end of the day, some Marvel cards are worth a fair bit of money, but I think some of it is still really undervalued, and I honestly think that's sort of a play there. I think we could see those blow up, especially some of these vintage ones, because comic book collectors are pretty insane. Right, I am one, so I know it full hand. I have a lot of key issues and rare comics, so I know that we're always looking for that additional niche, and it's pretty easy for someone to shift from comics to trading cards. I'm not going to be surprised if we see anything off the back of this sale, $3.3 million, and whether we might see some new money entering into the trading card market specifically for comic book related cards. So that's a bit different, just something I thought I'd bring to light. So yeah, that's sort of it. I hope you liked today's video. I hope you got some updates that maybe you weren't aware of. If you liked the video, please give it a like, give me a follow, subscribe if you haven't already, and give me a comment down below what you liked and what your thoughts were on some of these matters and these scammers in general, what you think is sort of happening within the hobby and where you think it's going. So that's sort of it. Thank you. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.